even is. We've gone live early,
Oh,
seconds early, because I'm going to ask you again what I just asked you about going back to the airfield. And what I'm going to try and do then is recreate the laugh that I had in reaction to what you said. So we'll pretend that I've never asked you this before. Hello there, Ian.
Okay.
So you might be going back to the airfield soon then Bruce.
I wasn't expecting that question.
No.
Yes. Yes, I will be going back to the airfield soon, Gary.
And well, how's that going to go? Surely you're not allowed there.
Well, they say they've made a special rule just for me, but I'll be going back anyway. And if they decide to use that rule, I'll just sue them for malfeasance, because by law you're not allowed to make a rule just for one person because you don't like them.
Yeah, I have almost laughed in the same way, same reaction. Yeah,
it was very good.
Yeah.
And now, see, Gary's got a slow internet connection tonight, so from time to time,
he
will just pretend he's not here.
Oh, I'm going to break. Did I break up then?
How? You froze momentarily.
But how? Momentarily. How do you think? But they should. The mayor's not going to come up to the airfield and march you off, is he?
He'll come up in his little pink robe and his magic wand, and he'll try.
But can they do you for trespassing or something like that? If they say,
well, that's a really interesting one, because I have a lease for a hangar on the airfield, you see. So that lease guarantees me rights, so long as I'm not in breach of civil aviation regulations, which I won't be. I'll be fully compliant with CAA's regulations. So if they were to try and trespass me, again, that's an act of malfeasance, because what have I done apart from break a rule that they've made specially for me, which is an act of malfeasance in itself. So they could get themselves tied up in an awful lot of legal pain if they decided to go ahead and do anything.
Sure. You're almost as bad as Ian.
The good thing is, I would do crowdfunding for the legal costs, and then I could just go to the media and say, look, the entire world is suing our Tin Pot Council.
Yeah, they're writing the story for you, really, aren't they? They really are.
Exactly.
They really are. We'll get on to what Ian's excellent work after we've just had a look at your quite average work, really, Bruce. And that average work is that you've discovered that Ukraine have come up with this brand new idea that's never ever been thought of by anyone recently. They've got a pulse jet.
They're putting it on a drone. Sort of like making a low-cost cruise missile, really, isn't it? No one would have thought of that before, would they?
Before.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And not sure anyone's ever thought of that sort of thing.
But that was quite recent, wasn't it? Just jumping on the bandwagon.
Hang on, let me have a look at that. It is jumping on the bandwagon. Some updates in 2002 and 2003. So, brand new,
obviously,
brand new.
Yeah.
But the pulse jet. What I don't know if I'm still here. What I wanted to ask you about the pulse jet is, surely it must eat fuel like there's no tomorrow.
It does. They're using a fairly traditional old-fashioned design, which has a thrust-specific fuel consumption of about 3. And what that means is, for every unit, like kilo or pound of thrust it produces, it consumes 3 times that many units of fuel per hour. So if you have one that produces 20 kilos, as I've got there, it is going to consume 60 kilograms of fuel per hour.
60 kgs of fuel. But what sort of thrust would you be getting out?
Well, that's for 20 kilograms. They say it's got 20 kilograms, that one. Yeah. So that's a huge amount. When you look at it, the most efficient turbofan engines now are they're probably a tenth of that in terms of fuel consumption. So it turns most of the fuel into noise and heat with a little bit.
I was just going to say that it's a hooning noise, though, isn't it? It's a heck of a noise from those things. And a lot of heat. So if you were trying to sneak up on somebody, it wouldn't necessarily be the number one choice.
No, but remember, this war's being fought with a lot of proxy drones. There's decoy drones. Russia's using them, just styrofoam drones with petrol motors on the back, no explosives, just to distract and to draw fire. So if you want to draw fire, what better than something with a really loud noise and a high thermal signature? So the Russians launch all their heat-seeking missiles at it while your stealthy drones sneak in and blow stuff up. Oh, and he's gone to sleep again.
They sneak in. No, you said something in there, but it's got a hooning big bit of metal on it, hasn't it? So the motor's a big bit of metal. So you got metal for the radar, heat for heat seeking, and noise for all the rest. It's like the holy trinity of how to get yourself detected.
Yeah,
it's
the perfect decoy.
Yeah, the perfect decoy. Well, good for. And are they relatively easy to produce then? The actual.
Yeah.
Well, it must be. You made one.
Yeah, exactly. The one they've built
Yeah.
there requires a bit of machining because it's got a valve head, and so you got to have spring steel. You got to machine a valve grid and things. So there's a bit of time involved in that. If you got CNC, that's pretty quick. But a valveless engine would have been cheaper and quicker to produce. But I guess they just using what they got.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're in a terrible place now. On to almost the main event, but Ian got hold of. I don't know, Ian. Do you want to put that video up, or shall I put that video up? Let's see if I can put that video up. Shall I? In fact, before, yeah, I'll do it locally. Before we do that, our version of it. One of the people that popped up in the comments was talking about this video. Now, have you must have seen this video before, Ian?
Well, I saw two F-15s take off.
I saw loads of them at the time. It's people just recording stuff with normal cameras that can't get anything other than lights.
They weren't hanging about, and there was afterburners, full afterburners for as far as
I think this is the bloke that sparked it all off.
So,
I think this bloke sparked it off. Keep listening to him.
Yeah, just in time got them going out, and like I said, go back and have a look at the afterburners. They did not stop. They kept them on, and they were in a hurry. So they were definitely on the way to intercept that, or have a look for them drones. They definitely would. So last week when we was here, and I saw some lights. Sitting up there, and it didn't move for ages. It was there for a good couple of hours, and then it would disappear, and it would come straight back again. And who knows what it is? I don't think this is kids flying a drone around.
I reckon it was him. I reckon he sparked off the first thing. But that just
called up the police to end up getting the NPAS dispatched as well, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Now,
the comment that's interesting is there's someone made on the video actually that could actually unlock all of this, saying, so we knew the nights were clear because this is what Prox Reality Check had said straight away, was you could easily see the traffic down at Newmarket. But yeah, we've also had a local that said he could see 30 miles away navigation lights on those nights. And an aircraft that's coming at you that far away is going to look like it's a drone hovering for a significant amount of time. There's nothing that was ever posted that was convincing, because me and Bruce as well, we were looking at it at the time and trying to say, could this be something? We were just speculating, given everyone else was doing it. But there was nothing convincing there. It was just the only thing someone would put up was a bit of that triangular, but it means nothing because they were trying to use color cameras at night. You can't prove a single thing. And I think that was deliberate by a lot of the channels, because they didn't want to prove stuff and show you that you weren't looking at, because they were getting lots of channel views for looking at what was just ordinary stuff. And they could just keep that going on, milking it night after night.
It amazes me how few people know how cameras work too, because when you get like the blurring and the iris outline and all that sort of stuff and diffraction, people think, oh, it's an orbit or whatever. No, it's just your camera's not focused, mate. There's visual artifacts caused by the optics.
Ooh. My back. I'm not sure I'm back or not.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, I know. I'm very, very sorry. Very sorry about that. Did that video keep playing whilst I was gone, or did it?
No, not properly. Do you want me to upload it to here so it's actually on the thing, and then you're just playing it off StreamYard?
Well, I don't. Well, the dear viewer can watch it again and for
themselves. Yeah. I just thought you might just want to go to a few seconds with it. But
there's a real shortage of pixels in South Africa.
Yes, we are low on pixels at the moment.
You're Mr. Blurry Face now, yeah.
God. But my ISP, I know what happens. It's going to break up as I did this. The air conditioning failed in the cabinet on top of the hill today. So we've look in the southern hemisphere. My part today, we've had a hot day, hence t-shirt. Bruce has had a cold day, hence thicker shirt. So I know the air conditioning went in the cabinet and it burned out the switches. So definitely they've bodge repaired it, but now it's night time, so it should be. So
the
cooler.
Cases of cold beer are slowly warming, and so are the switching units. Yeah,
absolutely. Yes, it's the beers that's the most important thing. But no, it's brilliant work from Ian, and getting that video, and really the story of that video is getting that video, because the video's got nothing on it. You're not going to see that everywhere because it's not interesting. There's nothing to see. I'd like to have the audio. I would like to hear the audio to go with it, because the missing bits to me are the air traffic communications. You know, what did the controller tell the helicopter about the F-15s that were operating in the area? That's where the problem started, and we have to remember that incident and those sightings, like that bloke, I was here last week and I saw lights in the sky and they moved and they went, and definitely, but those actions led to airspace restrictions in the UK and people unable to make money with their fledgling drone businesses in certain areas in the country. You know, we keep saying, and I said it on that stream, all you need is one of these. Can't continue. Anyway, rant over to someone else rant now.
I've got one of those.
Yeah. So we could both.
All the cool kids
both do the same. All the cool kids. Yeah, exactly. No, well,
I was going to say, Gary, on that, if you just show this still that I've just put on there to show people, because this is one bit I would like to talk about. At the start of the video, and I'm glad they kept it in. The good thing about this is they've not redacted the video itself. They've just taken the audio out. But this is actually up at Lakenheath base, and we can all clearly see there's no drones there. So drones have a very strong thermal signature. They have a scan round, they zoom in on the trees and so on when they're there. And there's nothing there, and that's why they ended up, obviously going off looking for it. Being told to have a look for operator and whatnot. But this shows that there's questions over the whole EU as well, because many of the airports where they did say, there's drones, Munich, Aalborg, Vogel, to name but three, immediately launched helicopters, which presumably would have all had EOIR, just like this, seeing quite clearly around the airports, and they didn't see a single thing. So there's no way a drone's there 1 minute and then it's suddenly vanished where the helicopter can't capture. And there'll be
special space technology.
Yeah.
No, special space tech.
Cloaked.
Yeah.
But again, national security will be used and abused to prevent the videos getting out, so people can actually just see the fact that they're making mistakes and just and keeping to the narrative and not even owning up to say, you know what, we could have actually made a mistake here.
Is that a Russian submarine in that field?
I'm going to say at least Copenhagen did say, they didn't even say we made a mistake, but they did at least admit it wasn't a malicious drone. So there's been kind of a little bit of soft admission, but it's good to just have a bit of evidence now to show some of the foreign journalists where I've been saying all along, well, the EOIR, they could quite clearly see if there was something there. Now they've got an example. So, with airspace and airspace safety, the whole principle is transparency, learning lessons, and this hopefully can be a bit of a lessons learned. We'll see.
And fair play to the National Police Air Service for getting this eventually. I can't remember how the story goes, but they weren't against this video coming out. Other people were, but it's out there now, and they've helped us along in some ways the whole time. So fair play to them. And you're wondering why it says West Yorkshire Police at the top right. That's because that's who looks after National Police Air Service helicopters in the UK. And I'm trying to seamlessly then link into another police thing, because there's two sorts of police. Oh, what does it
They've
have
got all the
there?
good toys, though, haven't they? That's a really high-res flare camera, isn't it? Great
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah,
It's
no.
720p that, so it's a few years old. So yeah.
Oh, now he's gone.
I stopped because I thought that was me going then. So you went then, Ian.
The assassins had succeeded for a minute.
Yeah. So the other sort of police drone in the UK is flown by so we've got NPAS, that's the grown-up stuff, and they're also flying that some feeble thing in trials off Bristol at the minute. But then you've got the NPCC, the National Police Chiefs Council, operating drones as well. And quite an important change has happened today. I may be ahead of the curve here for reasons, but they're changing from using temporary danger areas to TSAs, temporary segregated area. And that's big. You can't get permission to fly in this. That's why it's normally in controlled airspace, so that you'd normally need a special permission to be there anyway. So that's why they normally have them in those bits of airspace. And this is big. If you're in the UK, and these drone trials continue with drone in the box DFR and trialing them in cities as state aircraft, you're not going to be able to get in there. And I think general aviation and other, not GA would necessarily be there, but it's certainly going to affect some other operators. And I think people are going to get angry about this. I really do. So we shall see. That's the other two ways. But they're not really under the remit of the Civil Aviation Authority. I feel sorry for the CAA because they don't really quite know what to do with these guys, and it's not fair with commercial operators. Again, I'm doing all the ranting. Someone else rant. Is this another thing where I'm wrong yet again? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. You're probably right. We're just too polite to say it.
Yeah.
I'm too preoccupied with what's been going on in Ireland, so I'd seen you put this story up. I haven't been through and read it yet, so I can't really comment on it because I've not read it yet. So yeah, I didn't know the difference with and the implications of the TSA. It all matter just really when commercial operators, when it's local to them and they have a job, and then it'll become an issue. But
well, I'm waiting and watching the Altitude Angel. Did it swap over? I've not got that tab yet. I'm waiting and watching because I believe the first one is going to be here. Well, not I believe. I've been told it is. It's different. It's going to be over York. It could be somewhere else, but I'm just keeping a weather eye on that, looking for it to come up, and it should come up 24 hours before. And almost interestingly, but then again, not interestingly, you'll see if I click this, the Vale of York area of intense air activity. That's because there's loads of airports around there, and the RAF whizzes around, and the Yorkshire gliding clubs up here as well, all those sort of good things. But up there, the RAF fly with FLAM to let the gliders and paragliders and everybody else get out of the way and know they're there. So the RAF know there's an increased risk, and the RAF carry the right gear to let the private guys get out of the way, whereas the police just going, no, Wallop, you can't come fly here. Get off my land.
Probably trained by the Canadians. Oh, look.
That's not one. Yeah, did I disappear again?
We wouldn't say that.
No,
but you did.
No, if you check in right now, you'll see a few flights happening.
What's the EMA?
Now, Mikey. Yeah, exactly. Tell me, Mikey. Tell me what we're talking about. So yeah, that I thought was interesting. And another thing that was interesting was
I think the handset's fallen out of the acoustic coupler at Gary's end.
there we are. There we are. Plugged in again. This I found very interesting. 3.187 billion. And where's the UK one? Because the UK one's funny. So the Americas announced that amount there. Check the amount, see the number. Am I still here?
Yeah, I'm afraid.
And then, good show. And then the UK, get ready. The UK has announced that number.
So much money, though, to be fair.
But that's gone into all sorts of other things, including what's the name of that joined up service for all the sensors that they want? I've forgotten that. Remember the thing we found? Sapient. Yeah, this has gone into the Sapient company. So don't, because it's going to be secret squirrel, they don't say where it's going, but it's going into the Sapient companies. And I found this drone to be quite interesting as well. We're all going on about foam drones being deployed by Russia. Oh, look what we've got, big foam drone. The same sort of thing. Except obviously that one's friendlier because it's in white with the dots.
The Russian ones, the decoys are in white too. It's just styrofoam. It's just injection mold.
Oh, it's the same one then. Probably the same. It's exactly the same factory.
Exactly confiscated.
Probably. Oh, maybe. And then the last news story I've got is interesting that the BMFA is offering commercial drone insurance. I find that quite interesting. Well,
so they're moving into the commercial arena.
Well, that's what I found interesting about it. It's like, they've done their best to keep away from the world.
It's because the other hobby insurance is doing it, isn't it? It's because FPV and Grey Arrows, I think both offer insurance. Yeah.
It's not cool business, though, is it? Why would you be doing that? Because you're just reselling a service you're buying from someone else. So you're going to put a margin on it, become a for-profit organization. What are you going to do? Why bother to go through all that trouble?
Oh, and squeaky bum time flying the Mavic 3 down the runway. Oh, I wonder which runway that was. Tut, 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 tut. Dear me. Stop sharing. There we go. And the other thing I've seen just today was there's a thread about people asking about, well, what do you think about RID that's coming? And it's like you haven't been looking the whole time. They've plainly not been looking or thinking.
Yeah. It's a bolt out of the blue.
Oh. There you go.
Yep. And you're gone again. There you go. The great bit shortage. Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, you two. I think it's probably it's
we can talk amongst ourselves.
You can talk amongst yourselves. Exactly.
I caught dementia off Gary, so I can't remember. But did I talk about the changes to CAA's regulations last week in New Zealand?
No, you can talk about them again now because of my dementia, I can't remember them.
Oh, good.
Hello, Matt.
Yeah. On December the 22nd, we have a new structure for our regulatory framework here in New Zealand. Previously, we had an Act of Parliament, which empowered the Civil Aviation Authority to make rules to control aviation. Now we've put an extra layer in there. We've got the Act, which empowers civil aviation to make rules, which now refer to a document called a transport instrument. So there's 3 layers of hierarchy, and they've also released an advisory circular. So in New Zealand, if you want to fly a sub 250 gram drone, you've got to memorize 10 pages of rules and 19 pages of advisory circulars. So that's 29 pages of documentation to fly a tiny drone in New Zealand. In Canada, there's 3 rules and a paragraph of advisories, and it all fits on 1 page. So what the hell's going on, New Zealand?
Well, you lot are more dangerous, plainly. You need more rules. You need more rules. You must.
There's been no injuries, deaths, or major property damage caused by sub 250 craft in Canada.
There could be
3 rules.
There could be, though.
Yeah, but it's like, seriously, what's going on here? Where's the risk-based regulation?
It does seem to go mad, doesn't it? Everywhere.
And interesting. I got the CASA email. They do an email for drone users every month or so. It's just a information update and pally wally, be nice sort of thing. But it's handy. It keeps them in touch with the drone community. Every month they send something out and they refer you to various documents. CAA doesn't do that. So that's why I did my video on the removal of geofencing here in New Zealand. And I questioned AI, why wouldn't CAA do a press release? And the Gemini AI said it's because basically I think it would open them up to liability, because that they would then be implying that the geofencing was an effective way of preventing infringing the rules. So it's a liability thing. I'm thinking, well, who cares about liability? Isn't safety the bottom line?
Is it in the modern world? I mean, that's a good question. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure it is in the modern world as regards anything.
Something else that you'll be interested in. You know that these people make these little solar powered boats
sure.
with GPS and they go off around the world and they go circumnavigate the world with these little model boats. There's one guy has built one and it's headed for New Zealand, and it looks like if it does get here, he'll be in line for huge fines, because any craft or vessel entering New Zealand waters and landing in New Zealand without all the paperwork, it's like tens of thousands of dollars in fines under our biosecurity thing. Even if it's an autonomous little craft, it's like even getting the permissions and permits will cost you thousands of dollars to have one of these things land. And I don't think he knows about this. So when it turns up here, he's in the firing line. Nothing we do today isn't regulated beyond sensibility. And that's left him speechless.
Yes,
it did leave me.
Why haven't you got Starlink?
Huh?
Because we're not allowed to have Starlink here. We're not allowed to have
that's
it.
right. Political.
How would they know? How would they know?
Oh no! It's
disabled.
It's just
disabled.
Disabled.
When the satellites come over South Africa, they close their eyes and then open them when they go past.
And that's why we have less UFO reportings and less drone reportings, because they switch the lights off on all the satellites as they go over here. We're actually on
2 ways. Why don't you just move back here and then you can have internet?
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? There are ways of doing. There are ways of making you talk.
Wi-Fi from Zimbabwe.
Well, we're only three of the Starlink cells away from Lesotho, where you can have it. If I go to a pub at the end of the valley here, you can have.
So I think the solution is Gary puts Starlink on the pub and runs a large cable to his house.
No, just a Wi-Fi link, dedicated Wi-Fi link with high gain antennas. You'll be fine.
Somebody I know and we all know has proposed that as a solution for here, but it will get stolen if you put that link up there. That would be stolen like that. It would be stolen just like that.
Put a CCTV camera on it. At least you know who stole it.
Well, potentially. I've got another thing to share actually, because something popped up on social media. If I drop out, you can pick this one up, Ian. But I thought this was quite interesting. I don't know who it is. I'll put the link in the in our chat. But this popped up, and was it playing? I better put
the volume. Yeah.
There we.
Yeah, crank it up.
There's a light on the water, there's a shine in the sky. Could be traffic to Dublin.
I love the subtitles for deaf people.
Someone orders aircraft.
Pardon?
Someone else says no. Hard to take that back now, so we'll let it go. We've a feeling we guessed it, but we're in too deep.
Is that Sting?
Admit it was playing.
Yeah.
Smile and keep. Drones don't fly with the lights shining bright, but the papers won't ask if it's wrong or right. Sound official enough, they'll print it by night. What's in the sky? Drones show it is. Did anyone check? No need for that last ring. passing by.
I thought that was pretty remarkable. This band only has 8 subscribers, and obviously they're new on the scene. But the most worrying thing I thought about this is those drones are coming towards us, aren't they?
Yes, they're very suspiciously like navigation lights.
So they're coming towards us, so we better watch out for that. So there's Seafold. I don't even know how you say their name or what it means.
It's Seafold, as in like
Seafold.
here, but with S, so Sea.
So
You gave us a good experience there, Gary, of watching a music video on a very ropey internet connection.
16 kilobits per second of MP3 quality.
Can you even see the lights in the sky on that then?
Yeah, we could. The trouble was the word drone every time that came up, because it was stuttering a bit. You never even saw the word drone, but you did hear the lyrics.
But then was it there or wasn't it there? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the link that StreamYard. This I'll definitely drop out now. They bobbed me an email saying, "Oh, we're cracking, well done. We're putting you on a business subscription," and they did instantly, $299 a month. And they've already told me on this cheapo subscription that you should be able to click the links, and you can't. But I've got it back to the cheaper one now. But
that's why you're cutting out all the time. You're only paying for half the bandwidth now.
Exactly. But one thing, if you didn't notice, if you didn't know that, if I hadn't noticed that email in the new year, my next bill would have been $299 instead of 44. Quite a jump.
It's interesting the way different companies handle it, isn't it? Because when Netflix put in their ad-free tier or their ad-supported tier, we get a note saying, you're still on the premium subscription, you won't get ads. When Prime Video did it, they said you're going to get ads unless you upgrade to the premium tier. So, like different companies take different approaches, but changing the contract after you've signed the paper is not on.
Well, it's not, is it? And changing it for me, they took their time to save me the bother of changing.
Sounds like AI to me. Sounds like AI. Well, did you see the video I put up? And I put a rap track in it, and damn YouTube overdubbed the rap lyrics with an AI woman's voice. Oh God, what the hell?
Well, that leads us in.
Translated.
And you and Ian can talk about that. When are you setting up your new video service? Come on, when does it happen?
I've had a lot of feedback from people that are willing to help. There's quite a strong level of support from within the developer community. So over the Christmas and New Year break, I'll be having a lot of conference calls with people and seeing if we can get this ball rolling, because the sentiment on YouTube amongst creators is really anti-YouTube now. There's so many people just pushing back and not happy at all that there's finally enough groundswell for people to make the move. And I think users also will soon be tiring of AI slop and looking for somewhere where they can get real, genuine content again. I think he's gone to sleep this time, Ian. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was going to say, be careful what you say about AI. I'll have you know.
Oh, God, Mr. AI.
That's all I got. Now, was it him, me, both of us? Is it just you? I don't know. I just saw that.
There is lots of fun to be had with the A of I.
Yeah, but it should be a choice. It shouldn't be thrust upon us. I see Firefox is now going to be adding AI to their browser. One of the reasons I use Firefox is because it's a good old-fashioned, genuine grassroots browser. Now they're going to fluff you up with AI. I have to find something else to use.
The happy RC flyers saying more government overreach and rules than ever before. Yeah, so it would seem, but it is, as Bruce mentioned earlier, it is interesting how each country does it differently. Perhaps we need to have a roundup of where we're at with that. And at the end of the day, all of us want safety. Everyone wants a safe sky. We want appropriate training and safe stuff. Well, all right then.
That's the thing that annoys me. There's this inherent belief that everybody who flies a drone is out to cause trouble and endanger people and property. Yeah. I mean, seriously, have you looked at the hard data? How many of the millions and millions of drone operators are actually doing it? We have a better level of responsibility per head of population than manned aviation. Manned aviation flyers are far more likely to do bad stuff than drone flyers.
Well, what was that? It was an AN-224. What was that thing in Russia? That
broken half, yeah.
There's
trying to
special
copy a
folding
Hercules
operation.
or a C-130.
Yeah,
Except
well,
on the other end.
yeah, that's true.
These big transport
Can't say
aircraft aren't very
fairer than
safe, are
that.
they? Not very safe. Terrible.
No, whatever you do, you don't want to go in one of those. And who knows the real, you alluded to earlier, Bruce, the submarines, they're saying potentially it's 2 submarines, aren't they? I mean, if that's the truth of it, it's extraordinary.
How do you navigate an underwater drone, though?
Extraordinary.
I mean, it must be terribly difficult. You can't use GPS because unless you've got a little thing that sits above the water. But if you're totally underwater, you've got magnetic field, and that's it.
There is RG-sub. It does exist. It does
but
exist.
how accurate is it?
I've no idea. We need to ban manned aircraft from our city parks. So, but that aircraft hit a school,
and
didn't it?
And our highways.
Yeah, and the highways. That's right. Yes. Yeah, that one that went on top of the car. Those people in the car must have had a heck of a shock.
I thought you were going to say they were lucky.
Killed
I was going to say, no, having a plane land on your car is not lucky.
Well, it's a very small aircraft carrier, so the bloke did very well to get it down on top of it. Yeah.
I mean, should he have landed in the swamps next to it, though, or should he have landed on the freeway? What would you have done in that situation? You could landing on the freeway, you could kill somebody. Landing in the swamp, you could kill yourself. Which would you choose?
Yeah, I definitely would have gone for the swamp, but the sudden, because you just don't know what's going to. You're adding in many unknowns on the highway, aren't you? All those vehicles, you've no idea. You could have landed perfectly safely on the highway.
Yeah,
you're rolling off, and a truck could have smacked into you. So No,
and there was another mid-air collision in Australia. I think we covered that last week, maybe. I'm not sure. But I mean, manned aviation is a bit of a mess right now. It really is. And yet we're the subject of all the bloody vilification still.
On the topic of vilification, we've been asked to talk about your favourite topic, Gary. And so it's one you can start on, which is they droned back.
They droned back. Oh. So I was hoping I'd cut out then. They droned back. Okay. Will you pick this up when I drop out? But these youngsters in Germany going through their training with AI. They're journalism training, and they've tracked all the ships. They've tracked all the stuff where the drones are coming from in big formations, and they've proved it. They've proved it end to end. It's terrible.
Carry on, Ian.
Yeah.
Being treated as absolute fact.
Yeah, you broke up for a second. Just to jump in as well. So for people that don't know, this is just frustrating because I tried to have a quick thing on this straight away on LinkedIn. I don't know, you were a bit less subtle, Mr. Mortimer, on the LinkedIn. But yeah, they've been deleting comments and a bit of a pile-on to anyone that's trying to say, wait a minute, this journalism isn't sound. So basically, you've got a more senior journalist. You've then got these trainees underneath. And they've said, in a week, they have smashed the drone story. They have proven beyond doubt that Russia was behind it. And they were using ships, and they haven't done any such thing. All they've done is look at a section of ships and said, and they've used the words like start, which this annoys me. So if you're doing some of research, because I said, have you got a zip file? Is it for peer review? Straight away, you should be doing peer review if you're saying this is sound research, and which they're having none of it because they know it's not sound research. But they use something like lurking. They use something like a word like lurking ships, or it was a word along those lines. As that, so you are immediately using words that say this is sinister. You're not using data. You're not using facts. You're using emotion. And so I just said plain everyday questions. Have you checked the distances? It's no good saying there's a ship in the ocean if it's 100 kilometers away from the airport or where the sighting is, and they haven't done any of that. So I think I'm not had time to look in on, and to be honest, I don't want to because I know it's pointless exercise and it's clickbait and there's better things to be doing, but I might have to do it in the end just to reply back. But from what other people have said on it that know the stuff, the stuff's been like hundreds of kilometers out, and they've still said that's a sound premise that they've come up with, when it's not. You have to have the ship close enough where the drone can fly there. It can mess around for as long as it's claimed to, which has been up to like 2-3 hours, and then fly back and do all of that without a radar signature, without being seen by any of the helicopters with the EOIR on, and all that. It doesn't add up. And if you were looking at this intelligently, knowing about drones, you would know very well it doesn't add up, and you would know that this is not a sound-based story. And the worst thing is, not only have they not done that, but they're showing no humility, no acceptance of the fact of they've missed out all this. And as such, it isn't the quality they're making it out to be. So you've got lots of.
They'll get jobs at the BBC then.
What's that? Sorry.
They'll get jobs at the BBC.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, but her in the front won't look, because she's almost smiling. You see her there, look, she's almost smiling. The rest have got the look concerned, and I thought it was clever that they had the word terrorism in the background as well, in between the reds. There's all sorts of, but it's just so. Veeb in Holland wanted to. He said we should write a formal rebuke to all this, but I just got so angry. I just like, I can't be asked. This is just nonsense.
I'd like to do it as well, but again, it's just that I'm just fed up with it.
It's just like it is, isn't it? Write a song. No, it's not Ian. We've got to. How can we contact that band? What were they called again? Oh, Searfold. We've got to get hold of that Searfold and tell them about this. I feel this. The B-side coming on.
Why is it that the Fourth Estate has devolved into a council estate?
Very good. Very good. Very, very
good. What concerns me about this is these potentially future journalists, and you've got the journalistic community that have been trying to make this as a story, because it's about journalists. They've not even looked at the facts and checked the story. They've just put it out. Isn't this brilliant how this has been done? And it frustrates me because I do this. The bits I do in my part time, and I wouldn't dare do anything like this. I would actually have the pride in what I do to check it and double check it and to accept if I was wrong. And these are people where it's going to be potentially their career, and there's none of that being shown. They're always seeing is arrogance and this is facts. We've done it. It's nailed down, and it isn't.
I spent years in the news industry, and I know how the news cycle works. And one of the final elements of a news cycle is when the media has reported on the incidents, they've reported on the follow-up, then they report on each other. They report on how the media has handled this reporting, because that's how you squeeze the last drop of blood out of the stone. So that's the phase we're at the moment.
Okay, well, no, that's fair play to it.
The only way you could really refute this is to have a manufacturer. This is one thing that I wish we could get Philip doing because we used to have. So for all people not DJI, this is one thing that annoys me that people missed. With Brendan, he was doing brilliant work in that when you got nonsense like this, they would put the money in, they would get experts with, genuinely credible experts. They would go out, they would double check what was being done, and they put their own white paper out, and they put the retort out. And we've now lost that. Nobody is doing that in the industry. So, I would say shame on all the American companies here just trying to get money for their drone products. And they can't even get off their backsides and support the industry in any degree. They've got the money where any of the companies could be going after this and then actually putting out a counter to it. But it'd also be good on that to think, given that nobody else is doing it, if maybe this is something that Philip can look at and Q-Pilot fill in a bit of this. So maybe, Gary, you have a chat and see if
have a word to him.
Well, the only reliable news source now is The Onion.
Yeah. Well, the trouble is, it's turned into a flipping fact machine, hasn't it? It's
exactly.
It's bloody. Yeah, it's not. you really do have to look at some headlines and think, "Oh, is that the Onion?" Or was that? Oh, yeah. No, this one annoyed me, and also, so then it's made me think, no, we've actually got to stand back from this one a little bit and not jump in, because I may have said a few naughty words on LinkedIn and a few other things.
LinkedIn, that's like Fortnite for adults, isn't it?
That's just funny. It makes me laugh. People get so serious on LinkedIn. And they just talk rubbish.
Choose your weapon and start shooting. That's the one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See,
So
I was almost thinking with this, just ignore it and let it die and just get on doing what we do and putting facts out there. Just because it's the news cycle, it's there, things are the news for a while and then they're forgotten about. So this to an extent will be forgotten about. But it did get so much traction, more than, again, because it's come from journalists. I think it got a lot more traction and exposure. See, the thing that annoys me with this is they've done this as trainees. Now, we can put stuff out as experience in the drone sector. The fact that we understand how drone sightings works, we've been through Gatwick, everywhere else, all the evidence, looking at it, understanding it, and can put something out of genuine quality, and it won't get the traction because we're not, it's not what something the media are going to push.
It's not interesting, is it? The truth isn't interesting.
No.
It's not.
I want to know what's Meghan Markle got to do with all this.
This Lakenheath.
There you go.
I was going to say,
exactly
with this Lakenheath video now coming out, there isn't going to be much coverage of that. There's lots of coverage at the time when they're saying, "Oh, there's drones flying around," but when there's actual evidence that there wasn't drones flying about, no one's really going to want to report that. It would have probably got out in the BBC, but Matt, who was doing the story, he's on leave at the minute, so it was down to if one of his colleagues wanted to pick it up. And if you're trying to pick up a story that someone else has just been the focus of for the last year, you can't just pick it up and understand it. So you don't really know what that video is about and what it's showing. So I don't think it will get any mention there. The iPaper were interested, so they might make some mention of it. But again, I have no idea if the
corrections are always printed in 8-point type. So you can't read them. They're tiny.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what you're going on about, Bruce. But anyway, I have no idea if they'll even present it as we can see it, in that it is quite clearly showing there aren't any drones going around there, and it also is I think it's a reflection on the story in Europe that it's nowhere near. Well, we knew it wasn't sound anyway, but this is just another example of how it wasn't sound.
So Henk here. So we know how he's misreported our industry.
Oh no, Gary, come back.
A special handshake from Sonic Lodge.
Yeah, exactly. It would be interesting to know what other bullshit Henk's put out about other industries, but we don't know the other industries. So that's the real investigation that needs to happen, is how accurate is Henk's reporting.
Yeah, when you see how much disinformation is distributed on things we know about, it makes you realize how much of the other stuff we read that we don't know about is probably
exactly.
Also
precisely. Yeah, precisely.
Well, it's funny you say that, because just before this went on air, I was watching the BBC News, and there was the story about, I'm trying to think which airport it is now. Maybe one of you can jump in because you'll have seen it, I'm sure. Vilnius, I think it is. It's near to Belarus, and smugglers have been putting cigarettes on balloons, and all along it's smugglers doing it. So I'm assuming there's some monetary thing going on there for it being done. But now that's trying to be spun into, this is a Russian hybrid war, which they keep using now.
Hybrid war, yeah.
So everything now, and I'm like, wait a minute. I've seen you doing this with drones, and this is annoying me now, because I was all for, because obviously, I mean, my family's originally from Ukraine and that, so I'm all for supporting them. But I really am getting frustrated with this whole thing with the EU, of trying to build us up towards war. And when I've seen them doing it with drones, and I know this stuff's, it's fiction, a lot of this that's being said, and it's provably false. I'm thinking, well, how am I supposed to believe you now when you're saying this bit of thing is a hybrid war? And when they're doing the thing with Vilnius and the balloons, it's like, well, sort of, that's just plain smuggling, using that now. So it's making me more cynical than I would like to be. And I'm seeing it, you can see it with other people on social media and that, and I'm thinking you're kind of losing. And you can see this especially in Ireland. In Ireland, it's a far more serious and political issue there because, I didn't even know that. They're not part of NATO, but there's pressure there saying, oh, well, we should be joining NATO. And they've tried to use this drone incident, the Lightning never ever was a drone, saying, oh, look, Russia could launch a drone attack on us at any point. So we need to be in NATO. And it's like, well, starters, why are you trying to use this incident that you can't even prove? If you think there's a case for Russia doing it, make a proper case. But I'd like, what? I can't see any incentive at all in Russia having a go at Ireland. I can't see any incentive for anybody having a go at Ireland. I don't understand what the military goal is there anyway. And so it's just seeing it there. It plays out very contentiously because you've got a lot of people in Ireland that feel actually, no, we don't want to be part of NATO. We're happy being neutral in these things, not getting dragged into war. Our kids not getting sent across to fight in wars. And you can understand that sentiment. And when I'm seeing stuff being misused, it's making me more. I'm seeing those where I probably wouldn't have been tuned into that before. I'd be thinking, what's wrong with NATO? What all this is fine. I can now understand the suspicious attitude they've got, because if you can't put a good case for something without trying to use fear and scaremongering, it says your case isn't quite as strong as you're trying to make out it is. So
go to waste.
Well, Switzerland's Ireland's a neutral country, just like Switzerland. And I think, if Russia's going into Ireland, a neutral country, I think I've seen another example of some hybrid warfare being reported that could quite possibly be Russia. In that, the Italian was caught smuggling 66. You're talking about, so your smuggling mentioned that. That brought me up. So it's something into a neutral country.
This is war. This is a precursor to war. Yeah.
It is cake war. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I thought all the trouble that's been going on in the world this week, this one made me laugh.
This takes the cake.
It takes the biscuit or the cake. Indeed it does. Yes, indeed it does. Yeah. Hybrid. There is definitely some shenanigans going on in the hybrid warfare thing, just testing different systems at the minute, but it's nothing that hasn't been going on since the end of the Second World War.
It's an excuse to fearmonger, and what better way to raise taxes and say we need to spend more on defence?
Yeah, well, that's
and we've seen in the Texas, a fence doesn't work. Building a wall, so you take a fence, but the fence won't work. Well, Ireland, I think there are people wanting to buy to sell stuff to them. It's one of the things I'm picking up from that.
It's just lucky that we've got the peacemaker Trump and his Department of War to protect us.
They have put the money out there, so the money is there and kit is going to be bought. The important thing is now, though, they buy the right kit, because the problem again is you can throw money at it and they could buy a load of crud kit that that actually isn't giving them any protection.
You'd be better off the military. Well, there we are. I'm back again. Militaries across Europe have got much better gear than you're going to get from counter UAS companies. What they don't have is a bit of string that connects each one, so each system talks to each other, and then they properly look at the sky. We have loads of islands of technology that aren't joined together.
Can't they modify those NATO bomb detectors that work so well?
Exactly.
I do think there is a better understanding, because I've definitely seen mentions of it in the media that there is thought now being given to the fact you make, Gary. Maybe someone at NATO's watched this very show and you rant, Gary. But there is a realization that things aren't connected up. So I do think that will gradually be solved, and it will be appreciated more, because that, as you quite rightly say, that's part of the problem, as well as the fact that we're not putting out solutions with all the sensors. You know, as we saw in Europe, a lot of it was just purely RF. You can't be just doing purely RF. The thing that's actually frustrating me a bit as well with Ireland is I think they'd already planned to buy radar, and they keep talking about the drones and going, we're getting this radar, and they're not being honest and saying we're buying a radar that radar is not going to stop any drones or detect any drones, because it's not made for detecting drones. I assume if it's already ordered stuff, it'll be for normal aircraft. And you're like, well, you're still going to have to do a new investment, specifically in counter drone radar. And again, you're going to have the EOIR heads. You can't cover your whole country in those. So you're just going to have those at key, what you consider your key national security assets. But then you've also got to consider as well that you're not just buying this kit and that's your money done. You're then going to have people to man it. You've got to crew it, repairs, software updates. So it's a continually going expense. So you still think you need to have this proportionate of thinking, what do we genuinely need to protect? And don't go, you don't want to go over the top, and you stretch yourself so thin that you've got a really expensive system to keep going every year. Then you get in.
Mana is a Russian company
for it.
Who? Sorry,
Mana.
I don't think so.
Yeah, drone delivery people.
Yeah. Where you going with
this? The Russians. Could be a covert operation.
Well, could be, but why does he say that?
It's Ireland.
Oh, it's Ireland. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah, fair enough. Oh, all right. Fair enough. Yeah. There's a complete lack of joined up thinking with the whole sphere. You just buy a solution. Hey, we're done. It's not how it works. There's a much bigger problem than that. And all of this stuff that's going on is there will be, sadly, there will be a genuine something will happen somewhere in the world, and we'll miss it. Well, look at Russia. The Ukrainians have managed to get hit submarines with miniature.
It must be a bit rate thing. As soon as Gary starts moving his hands,
he moves his hands. It's just
really? Okay, yeah.
And to think all this started with a bunch of old men flying little rubber-powered models in a field somewhere in the 1920s. What were they doing?
You reminded me of a point that struck me. There's as well, because Russia's being blamed for every single thing where we know, and there's lots of cases where absolutely won't be, and it's clearly a mistake. It's going to get to the point that eventually Russia will do something, and then people aren't going to believe it because they've heard for 200 times of events where it wasn't Russia. They'll think, oh, wait a minute, can we believe any of this? You've got it wrong so many times.
Boy, you tried wolf. Boy, you tried wolf. I'm definitely going to end this one on the hour because there's an internet connection's awful. So, dear viewer, wherever you might be in the world, look after yourself. I'll try and get a bucket of internet next week, because next week,
no
of course,
camera hour this time.
DJI. It's DJI week next week. Next week, we'll be seeing have they really banned them or not on the
should all wear funny hats. We should all wear funny hats.
Okay, so next week the rules are everyone, dear viewer, bring a funny hat and have a drink, have an adult beverage with you if you do that sort of thing. We'll see you at 2100 Gin and Tonic next week. Cheers, everyone. Look after you.